Hello everyone, welcome to Unacademy live NTA-UGC NET. I hope I am live, audio, video and the screen is clear. Please confirm someone who are there in the class. So guys, in this Unacademy live NTA-UGC NET YouTube channel, I am taking these sessions at 9 p.m. on every Tuesday, Wednesday paper 1 and every Friday commerce. In this channel, I am taking my live sessions are going on as part of the best of all 10 units. That is for the commerce best of all 10 units. Every Friday 9 p.m. we completed 2 parts. Now that this is the third part where most important concepts of commerce, all the 10 units will be covered. So most important from each of random topics will be picked up and will be chosen. And you can just follow me in Unacademy Learning app also. The link is given in the description and in the chat box also. As well as do join in my Telegram group Unacademy space Vodnala Shivalingam. Just go to the Telegram and type this name. That is visible on the top also. So this is about me simply, and many of you who are attending know about me. And for the complete revision of the paper 1 as well as paper 2 at Unacademy Plus platform, the courses are lined up. You can join into Unacademy Plus subscription. With a 1-month subscription, you can able to access to all the Educator paper 1, paper 2 courses of different paper 2 subjects also, not only just one paper. Here, if you take the subscription, not only just my classes, all Educator classes you are able to see. And the test series for the both paper 1, paper 2 will be available. Study material PDF of all the Educators for the both papers. Mock test, mega quizzes, everything will be under one roof. That is at Unacademy Plus platform. So today at 11:59 offer is going to end by. So there is an offer which is going on. Instead of 10% discount, if you use this referral code Shiva Live, SHIVALIVE, SHIVALIVE. If you do use this referral code, now it is 20% off till today, till 11:59 today only. This offer is going to be valid. So interested upcoming candidates also, those who wish to prepare for the December exam also can avail this discount possible. So 20% today with this code. Let us start with the today's topics. Ready? Good evening everyone. Hello Jyoti Lakshmi, Ganesh, CB, Babita, Pallavi, Rebecca, Happy, Bati, Rowdy, Lakshmi. Great. Nakul, Sushri Ananya, Priya Shrimali, Veera Sir, Commerce Goals, Manju, Anjali Maheshwari, Sarvani. Yes, happy evening. Very good evening to all. So there is a 2021 question. First point of discussion is by liquid data statements. This topic is from the accounting unit number 2. Hello Manu Prasad. So liquid data, liquidation account is there now. Unit number 2 accounting is there. So in the accounting, liquidation accounting is one of the part. Liquidation accounting. So in that there are sequence based question got asked, which is when we are making a payment in the event of winding up. First, what I mean by liquidation, then later I will come to this provision. The liquidation meaning is that winding up of the company, where company is going to ceases to exist. Company life is going to come to an end. That is what a liquidation. So in the liquidation, the liquidator statement we need to prepare. There will be a one person appointed when the liquidation is announced by the company or by the court also. The appointment of the liquidator will be there. Liquidator is a person who will be taking care about entire procedures of the liquidation. Until unless complete procedures are completed, company is not deemed to be closed. So the procedure are nothing but selling of the assets of the company and getting the amount from there and making a payment to the creditors of the company. This is what the main duty of the liquidator which is being appointed. So in this case, what the liquidator has to do? He has to prepare the liquidator's account. Then in that account he need to sell the asset. After selling asset, he need to get the amount. Once he get the amount, he need to pay it to the creditors in a sequential order, on a priority sequential order as per the law only he need to pay. How he is going to pay? Well, let us see. How he is going to pay as per the provisions we need to understand. In case of compulsory winding up, means which is as per the court order, company liquidator should keep as per the proper books. It may be prescribed. He should cause entries or minutes to be made in the proceedings of the meeting as matters which may be discussed. So any creditor or contributory may subject to the control of the tribunal only. The tribunals will be there. So via tribunals only this will be discussed. And actually section 59 of the Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, IBC 2016 section 59 will be in operation whenever the winding up is happening like this. So here, while preparing a liquidator statement, we must take receipts are shown in the following order. Receipt. When the inflow is coming now, liquidator has to consider the receipts in this manner. First, amount realized from the assets are included in the prescribed order, in the process of proper order only. In case of assets specifically placed in favor of creditors, suppose there is a loan which is there. And that loan, the proper asset is there, asset number A on the balance sheet, asset number A is pledged with this particular loan. That means the pledged in favor of the creditors, only the particular A asset after selling you will get amount. Now that amount that you got it will be utilized to pay only this creditors on whom you got a pledge. Right, on whom you got a pledge. That's what in placed in favor of a creditors, only the surplus from that particular asset. In case of partly paid up shares, equity shareholders should be called up to pay necessary amount. If the partly paid up shares are there, now first we need to call the remaining payment. We need to invite for the full payment. Otherwise, those partly paid up shareholders not eligible for the repayment. Once a liquidation is announced, in order to get the repayment, they need to pay. So amount not exceeding amount of uncalled capital. If creditor claim the preference shareholder can't be satisfied with the available amount, then preference shareholders would be called upon to contribute the remaining amount. Next, amount received from the calls to the contributories made at the time of winding up are shown on the receipt side only. Amount received from the call. Once you called up for the remaining calls now, which is pending calls, if you are receiving amount, we need to credit that amount to a receipt side of the liquidator's account. And receipt as per the trading account are included in the receipt side. That is a gross profit of the sales which is coming now. That is also to be on receipt side. Payment made to the redemption of a securities and cost of execution and payment per trading account are deducted from the total receipt. Means this is simply deducted from the total receipt or mention it as a payment side. How much we are redeeming means a repayment of the securities. Repayment of the securities. Having understood this one, now most important part is this one. Once you realize the amount, once you got the amount credit into the liquidator's account, now you are having an amount after selling all the assets. How you are going to pay the liabilities? First, legal charges is our number one priority. Legal charges. Why? To have this all proceedings of the liquidation, you must have incurred legal charges. First you need to pay, that is a statutory obligation you must pay. After that, liquidator's expenses. Usually the liquidator's remuneration we need to pay. Liquidator's remuneration we need to pay. Remuneration means whatever the charges taken by the liquidator, that is the second order of the payment. Third order, debenture holders including the interest up to the date of winding up if the company is insolvent and to the date of payment is solvent. So debenture holders is a third category. For the debenture holder, we need to pay with the interest also. Till the date of winding up, we need to pay with the interest if the company is solvent position. Fourth priority, this is a priority number 3. Next, priority number 4 in the order of making payment. Preferential creditors. Preferential, in actual practice, preferential creditors are paid before the debenture holders having floating charge. So actually this preferential creditors are paid after the liquidator, later debenture holders will come. But if preferential creditors are having a floating charge, means the charges which is changing, dynamic. Floating charge means the interest, the dividend percentage on the preferential creditors will be there now. Are the creditors who are treated as a priority. For them, if the interest rate or the dividend rate is getting changed now, for those creditors we need to pay first. If the fixed rate of charge is there, then you can pay after the debentures. If it is floating, then before the debentures only we need to pay. After paying to the preference shareholders, preference creditors, then unsecured creditors is in the next order. Unsecured creditors in the next order, right? Unsecured creditors in the next order. After that, now the preferential shareholders. This is about a preferential creditors, means important creditors. After that, unsecured creditors. Now the preferential shareholders who are expecting a dividend, which is cumulative dividend or non-cumulative dividend. Cumulative dividend means the dividend which is accrued or generated till that winding up time. And final payment is made to the equity shareholder. Final payment is made to the equity shareholder. That's how the order of payment in case of liquidation. Clear? Legal charges, liquidation expenses are a remuneration of the liquidator, and next one is that preferential creditors having a floating charge. After that, debenture holders. After that, preferential creditors who are not having a floating charge. After that, unsecured creditors. After that, preferential shareholders. After that, equity shareholders. This is how the order. Security creditors comes under the point number 3. By security creditors, secured creditors are actually on priority. Every time, you know, if the creditor is secured, immediate first payment to the secured people only. That is what secured people are. Preferential creditors having floating charge. Preferential creditors having floating charge are called as in secured creditors. These bracket persons are nothing but secured creditors only. This is a valid doubt. Super. Clear? Next. Topic number 1 completed. Now the topic number 2. Ready? Merger, acquisition, amalgamation, difference. Single line difference, can anyone please tell me? Single line difference. Somebody please. Ho gaya bhai? With one topic only, energy completed. Merger, acquisition, amalgamation. Merger. Two entities A plus B equal to A or else B. New entity is getting formed. So here at least two entities are involved. One will be ceases to exist. So A plus B will become either A will acquire the B, or A plus B will become it equal to B also. It could be anything. And here acquisition is, absorption is one is taking over the other. Acquisition is at least two entities are involved. One takes over the assets and shares of the other and influences the voting rights also here. Influences the voting rights also. All companies might exist together. All companies might exist together, but voting rights will get transferred from one to other. Amalgamation is A plus B equal to AB or another C company also. New company will get formed. New company will get formed, right? Here impact of shares of the absorbing company are given to the shareholders of absorbed company, which is a new company, or who is acquired the one. Not new, in this there is no new company will be formed. Absorbed company is nothing but the company which is taken over the previous company. And here in the acquisition, buyer companies purchase more than the percentage of target company. Acquisition is a forceful activity. This absorption is a voluntary action. Whereas this acquisition is a somehow forceful. Hustle takeover will be there, na, that type. Next is that share of new entity given to the share of existing companies. So share will be given in the new company to the existing companies. And here size of the companies. Two companies are comparable size here. The merging of our comparable size. Here big fish will eat the small fish. Big fish will eat the small fish. Big fish will eat the small fish. And the participating companies are comparable size, have similar terms of association. And here resultant entities are only one company exists. Absorbing companies absorb absorbed companies and continue to exist. So the absorbed companies will be ceased, and whereas absorbing companies will be continued, which are absorbing the other company will be continued. Here acquired company ceases to exist and become part of the acquiring company. Who is big fish will be existed, small fish will be get lost. And here new entity will exist, both companies will be lost. Absorbing companies initiate the deal. Here drivers for the association. Who will initiate? Absorbing company who wish to take over. Those people will be initiating. And here an acquiring company initiate the deal, or with or without the consent of acquired company. Here hustle takeover. Forceful action here, right? Next, initiated by the both parties, their amalgamation. And if you look at assets and liabilities are absorbed by the companies, absorbed companies are absorbed by the absorbing company. Absorbing means who are going to continue. And one firm acquire the assets and liabilities of other company. Assets and liabilities will be transferred to new company. But this is the key difference between the three. Now, type of merger, is it clearly visible? First do let me know, because here somehow blur looking. AWARDEE vibes, Awadh vibes. Yes, okay. So type of mergers, horizontal merger, vertical merger, first two. Let us talk the right side later. First one is that horizontal merger. What is merger? Merger is in coming together. First, process of two firms operating in the same industry, combining together to get a benefit of economies of scale. Economies of scale benefit is nothing but the productivity benefit, which is quantity increasing. The productivity benefit, economies of scale means, and reduce the competition, achieve the monopoly status and control the entire market. So here the best example is that both the companies who are in the same nature or same industries, they will come together and they'll do that one. That is what a horizontal merger. They'll merge together same nature of companies like Tata, Sudhakar Pipes as well as Sudhakar Pipes and Ashirwad Pipes. Both are pipes only, the sanitary industries only. Both will come together and their productivity will be expanded. They'll become a monopoly in the entire market. That's how it will go. Horizontal. Vertical merger is merging with a supplier or the distributor. Vertically, if I am the company, I will go and merge with my supplier, or else I will go and merge with my distributor. That's a vertically merging. So acquisition by an entity to another entity, which procedures of raw materials are used, and acquisition of a firm by another company for which would be help to get a customer, that is a distributor. Either it could be with a supplier or it could be with a distributor also. It could be with a distributor also. Either way it can happen, that comes under here, right? So here if I can take the example here, a car manufacturer acquires a steel company, FMCG company acquires an advertising company. Why? Because FMCG product requires advertising, mass advertising is required. Car manufacturer requires a spare parts. So car manufacturer will make a deal or a merging with a who will sell the spare parts, or who will manufacture the spare parts. So like that, vertical merger. Next, the third type of merger is that conglomerate merger. Conglomerate merger. What is conglomerate? Two unrelated industry companies are coming together, called as an unrelated. It is like a marriage only. Two unknown persons are coming together to lead their life for a long time, called as an conglomerate. Conglomerate means both are unrelated in their life aspects, but both are coming together for the entire life. That is a marriage. In the same way, conglomerate also combination of two firms which are operating in the industries unrelated to each other to achieve a big size is called as a conglomerate. Right? Yes, arranged marriage type. Steel manufacturer acquiring a software company. Right? Next, a concentric merger. Next, a concentric merger. What do you mean by concentric merger? Name itself is indicating concentric. Concentric. Combination of two or more firms which are related to each other in terms of their customer groups, in terms of their functioning, in terms of their operations wise, they are similar in nature. They are similar in nature of operation wise. Combination of computer manufacturer and UPS manufacturer. So in the computer manufacturer, some elements used is same. In the UPS manufacturer also some elements used is same. That is what a concentric merger. Like here actually DVD as well as the DVD players and DVD cassette. Correct na? DVD players and a computer and a keyboard companies. Computer and a camera companies, and a laptop as well as the hard disk wala, the external hard disk, that are memory type of companies. It's like one company. If I am selling a DVD player means I also should, if I am buying a DVD player means I also should buy DVD disc, DVD or CD I need to buy. So this CD making company and DVD player manufacturer, both are having the same customer, that is me only. So which is called as a concentric merger. That type of company they will merge together is comes. Bike and helmet, related goods. Related goods having a same customer, it is like a related goods. Related goods will have a related customer obviously. Bike and helmet, best example. Next, a forward merger, reverse merger. What is forward merger? The target merges into buyer. Like ICICI Bank acquired the Bank of Madura, which is target. Forward merger and backward merger. Forward merger and backward merger. Actually, forward merger is nothing but merging. Vertical merger is of two types by. This vertical merger is there now. Vertical merger is two types. One is forward, second one is backward. The forward is nothing but with distributors or wholesalers. Right here, backward is nothing but with backward, with suppliers. With suppliers. Forward, backward is related to manufacturing and supplier. Correct. That's what? Two types. Next is that here targets by ICICI Bank acquired the Bank of Madura, which is a target, and reverse merger by, what is reverse merger? What is reverse merger? The buyer merge into the target and the shareholders of the buyer gets into stock, get a stock in the target. ICICI merged with the ICICI Bank in 2002. That is a reverse merger, ulta. Actually, ICICI Bank is a later formatted one. ICICI Bank formed in the 1995. But ICICI as a corporation of industrial credit is there since that 1955. So 1955 which got formed, they came and merged with a recently formed entity which is ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank. It is like, one public entity is getting merged up with a private entity. One public entity is merging with a private entity, or else I would say one holding company merging with a one subsidiary company. One holding company merging with a subsidiary company. That's what a reverse merger, ulta. Actually, big fish has to eat the small fish, but here small fish eat the big fish. That is what a reverse merger, ulta. Yes, now it is bank only. Next, subsidiary merger. What is this? The buyer sets up an acquisition subsidiary which merges into the target, and it is a combination of two companies into a single larger company. So combination of multiple subsidiaries will become a one bigger company or a larger company. That is what a subsidiaries merger. But these are the types of merger. Next, takeovers. Types of takeovers. Types of takeovers. Here, friendly takeover, hustle takeover, bailout takeover, cross-border takeover, reverse takeover. Look at this takeover which is friendly. Both the side, friendly takeover means it's like a accepted love. You proposed, the girl proposed to a boy and boy proposed to a girl, everything went off smoothly. Both like each other. That's what friendly takeover. Hustle takeover means girl proposed to a boy but boy didn't accept it. Still girl is forcing the boy to accept it. That is what hustle takeover. With a force. Takeover silently without the consent of the other party. Without the consent of other party, this is in the form of acquisition. This is in the form of acquisition. Right. Bailout takeover is a takeover deals with a financially weak company. Acquisition of financially weak company by a profit earning company is called as an bailout the farmer. Means financially weak entity will be there. So financially weak entity, this is taking an opportunity, simply taking an opportunity. A big companies or else other company who is a profit making company just trying to acquire the other company because their financial position is weak. Their financial position is weak. That comes under the bailout takeover. Their financial position is very weak. That is why they are trying to acquire that company. Cross-border takeover. Cross-border, name itself is indicating competitiveness among the domestic companies forces many business to go global. So competitive among the domestic companies forces many companies to go global. That is a cross-border takeover. Means one company, A company is performing very competitively within India. So this competitively within India, it is very strong. This will be taken over by some other foreign entity because they wanted to expand their business not only in India, in other country also they wanted to expand. So that will be a cross-border takeover. And reverse takeover will be, generally we see a big companies taking over the small companies. But when it happens ulta, that is here. Reverse merger is there now. Reverse merger is here is reverse takeover. When small company takes over the big companies, it is called as a reverse merger or reverse takeover. Reverse merger or reverse takeover, both. right? So that's about a type. Now dividend theories, total 3 important theories of dividend is there. In 2 charts only we are going to cover. These are the dividend theory assumptions and the proposition, as well as their respective formulas and the most important relationship I am going to tell you. Ready for it? Very important, damn sure question will come. 100% pakka question. Chalo. Walter model, Gordon model, approach. By like a capital structure theories, we have a dividend theories also. Dividend policy theories are there. So by declaring a dividend, if the value of the firm is going to change, based on the dividend declaration, those are called as relevant theories of the dividend. If the value of the firm is going to be constant or it is not changing, even though whether dividend declared or not declared, that is irrelevant approach of a dividend. So 2 classification is there. In this Walter as well as Gordon, both are relevant approaches, which are because of the dividend value of the firm is going to change. Whereas is an always irrelevant fellow. He is always irrelevant fellow because of the change in the, or because of the dividend declaration, that is not going to change. Market value or value of the firm is not going to change. That is irrelevant approach. According to Walter model, the market value of the shares are depend upon the dividend per share. Means if the dividend per share or dividend is declared, that is directly going to impact on the value of the firm. That is what these 2 theories. And the relationship between the internal rate of return IRR and the cost of equity or the market capitalization rate is existed over here. IRR and the cost of equity, cost of capital, but in all the cases cost of capital is treated as an cost of equity. Why? Because here there is no other capital which is existed, only equity capital which is existed. That is why total cost of capital is equal to this one. Next, Walter bro relevant. Now here assumption of the Walter is saying financing through retained earnings only. So he is not going to procure any new capital from the other sources. Whatever the retained earnings that is existed with the company will be reinvested in the company. No new procurement of the capital, only retained earnings R. Right? Rate of return which is R and the cost of capital which is KE, both are going to be constant. Rate of return as well as cost of capital both are constant, and there will be a existence of perfect capital market. Perfect capital market means where the market which is having a rational buyer, the buyer knows about the entire market, buyer is having all knowledge, all the buyers are having a proper knowledge about the market mechanism. That is what we call it as a perfect capital market. Next, no tax or a tax discrimination. There is no tax or tax discrimination is also not there. Means there are no taxes exist in the world. That is what the assumption. And there are no transaction and flotation costs are involved in making all this transaction. Pukat everything they will do. Means the market will perform for everything for free only. Market is the firm is having a perpetual life. Firm is a going concern. It's a going concern, right? No external financing, obviously. So these are the main assumption of the Walter model. Now let us look into the Gordon also. According to the Gordon, IRR, internal rate of return, is greater than the cost of capital. Here what? Depend upon the, and internal rate of return and cost of capital is, the relationship is existed between the both. Here internal, the R is more than the, internal rate of return is more than the cost of equity, means return is more than the cost, and the price per share increases and the dividend payout ratio decreases. So DPS and MPS is having a ulta relationship. This is ulta relationship is existed between the DPS and MPS. Here firm is all equity firm only. That is what the main assumption of all theories also. IRR will remain constant, but it is constant even though it is more than the cost of capital. Cost of equity is also remain constant. These both are going to be constant, but it is going to be R is more than the KE. That is what the Gordon model. And retention ratio, that is B, once decided upon, once the retention ratio is fixed like a 60% fixed. So once it is fixed as 60%, it will be 60% only, it won't change. Growth rate is also constant. G equal to, growth is equal to retention rate ratio into internal rate of return. That will be the growth ratio. So that is also once decided it is constant, it is not going to change. Financing through retained earnings only. Here also financing through retained earnings only. Here also financing through retained earnings only. So KE is more than the growth. KE is more than the growth. And here R is more than KE and KE is more than the growth. That's how it is going to be there. Right? Simply they are saying everything need to be constant, then only this theory will work. Bakwas at total. Next, approach. Approach. According to the these assumptions are itself is hectic. Now he will come and say he is on the another world, Elon Musk. Approach. According to the hypothesis, market value of equity shares of a firm of its firm depend on its earning power, not on the dividend. Depend on the earning power, not on the influence of the manner which it is earning the split between the dividend and retained earnings. So it is purely on the earning power. Dividend is not a parameter to decide the value of the firm over here. As per him, perfect capital market are existed, no taxes, fixed investment policy, no flotation cost, no transaction cost, risk is uncertainty existed. This is the only thing which he told correct. Sorry, this is also wrong. Sorry. Risk of uncertainty does not exist, he said. I thought it is exist. Does not exist. Risk itself is uncertainty. Risk meaning itself, the definition of the risk itself will start with uncertainty. Risk is nothing but risk is defined as an facing the uncertainty. So he himself is saying risk itself is not there. No risk is there. No risk is there. Right? So these are the assumptions as per the three authors. Now look at the formulas. Please write down the formulas very clearly. Theoretical market value of the equity shares as per the Walter formula, dividend plus EPS minus DPS multiplied by R, internal rate of return, divided by cost of capital, which is KE, whole divided by KE. So dividend plus, this is dividend portion and this is retained earnings portion. EPS minus D means retained earnings, multiplied with a rate, divided by the cost, multiplied with a rate. So dividend plus retained earnings is the total value which is there, and that is multiplied with a rate and divided by the cost. So which will give you the value of the share, which is a theoretical market value. And here with growth, without growth, Gordon's application, here Gordon approach, with growth D1, which is a dividend, D0 plus growth equal to D1. So with growth is nothing but D1 divided by KE minus growth will come. Cost of equity minus growth will be deducted. If it is without growth, D1 divided by KE only. Growth will not be deducted because that is without growth. No need to deduct the growth. And here, if the approach is getting followed, when the dividend is not paid, step number 1, Step number 1 will be different for the when the dividend is not paid. We need to calculate the expected market price P1 is equal to current market price plus cost of equity, that is 1 plus KE. Current market price P0 plus into 1 plus KE, which is cost of capital, need to be multiplied or added. When it is dividend paid, when the dividend paid, here same PO 1 plus KE, but minus expected dividend you need to remove because you are calculating expected market price. Upon this, if the variables are not available, then current market price is equal to expected market price plus expected dividend divided by 1 plus cost of equity or cost of capital. Cost of capital. So change in number of shares. How many number of shares are going to be changed because of the new fund that you are going to issue? That is I minus E minus D. What is I? Investment. Investment minus earnings minus dividend divided by investment only, right? Investment minus earnings minus dividend divided by P1, which is expected price. Market value of the next year, the value that you calculate, this is change in number of shares by how many new shares that you need to issue because of the new investment that you are procuring or inviting from the public. So how many number of shares that is going to change. And market value of the next year, present market value of the next year is equal to number of changes, number of shares changes, and the P1 that you calculated over here. Both 2 and 3 will get multiplied, will give you market value of the next year. Bus. This much only. Right? Now people will go. People will go. I am telling Pakka, you remember my words. You can look at this one, this one, this one. Any one of the formula based question, every year they are asking. Every year they are asking. You don't have a patience to listen the formulas. But if the easy question is coming, we have to make it. By every easy question will be done by every person. When these type of question, if you are dealing in the exam, obviously you can make it JRF. Because this is not normally done by all. This is not normally done by everyone. This is done who has done a practice only. Who has done the practice, those people only can able to solve this question, otherwise not possible. Regular people who will come and say 1 month 1 month ka people, they will not know the problems. So here there are 3 types of company: growth company, constant company, declining company. Means having higher growth, loss making, and constant growth companies. So conditions: in case of growth company, R is more than the KE. That is Gordon model approach actually. This is Gordon approach. As per the Gordon, R is more than the KE. So in case of growth companies, the Gordon will be applicable. Correlation between the size of a dividend and market price is negative. Because return is more than the cost, dividend and market price will be negative here. Optimum dividend payout ratio will be 0. In case of growth firm, where the returns are more than the cost, and there will be an inverse relationship between the dividend as well as the market price of the company. In such a cases, have the entire earnings with you only, do not declare anything as a dividend. Right? And if it is a constant where both are equal, where no correlation between the dividend and the market price, every payout is optimum. Every payout ratio is optimum. Whether it is a dividend payout ratio or retention ratio, both must be optimum. Means on an average, half that type of situation. Loss making company where returns are less than cost. This is a positive correlation. Dividend and market price will be having a positive correlation. If you declare the 100% dividend, whatever the earnings that you are getting, then that declining firm will come, the declining firm will be growing very early. That comes under here. Right? So that is a part of this entire discussion of the dividend. Is it clear? Now let us start. Another important item. Every topic which I am bringing, damn sure there will be a question from each of the slide in any one exam. You can just check it out. That's how I am bringing the topic in the best of all 10 units. So let us start with this. There are international regional agreements are thereby. So as per the international regional agreement, if you look at this side, European Union, number 1, European Union EU. The purpose of European Union is to promote the peace and its values and the well-being of its citizens. How many member countries are existed? 28. Wrong. How wrong? Is it 28 or 27? Please tell. Is it 28 or 27? Acha, only today's session is 1000% important. 28 or 27? Please tell. 28 or 27? $29. ओहो, ये किधर से आ गया भाई? What is that? What is that extra one? Please बताओ. Even I don't know about it. Sorry. Actually here, it's 27. It's 27 only. Whether I just checked for the 29. Seriously, I thought it is true. So 27 only, because one I wanted to remove. Usually we call it as EU plus 27. EU treated as one, na? So EU plus 27 will become 28. But usually when they are asking the number of member countries, not 27 only, you need to mark it out unless until they are specifically asking. Headquartered at Brussels and Belgium. But recently Ukraine is there now. Ukraine submitted application to be included under the European Union, but that application is kept in pending due to the war, due to the Ukrainian and Russia war. Due to the Ukrainian-Russian war. So this is in the 1957, the origin of the European Union is there. After that, ASEAN. ASEAN is an association of Southeast Asian nation. Association of Southeast Asian nation. And here, to accelerate the economic and social progress and cultural development, here how many countries? Total 10 countries with our Asian countries only will be there. Jakarta, Indonesia is an location of the headquarter. 1967 formation. 1967 formation. SAARC is an South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation headquartered at Kathmandu, Nepal. headquartered at Kathmandu, Nepal. South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation headquarter. Promote the welfare of people, promote the welfare of the people South Asia and improve their quality of life. Improve their quality of life. Improve their quality of life, which is MBBS Spain. What is this? 8 member countries are there. MBBS Spain, that is, which is M, Maldives, B, Bhutan, B, Bangladesh, S, which is Sri Lanka, and P, which is Pakistan, A, Afghanistan, I, which is India, N, Nepal. Total 8 countries. Plus 9 observer countries are there. Australia, China, and the European Union, Iran, Japan, Mauritius, as well as Myanmar, South Korea, United States. It got established in 1985. 1985. By year is correct, 27 countries. You already told 29. That is wrong. Please don't confuse me. Absolutely, this year is correct. 1957, the journey of the European Union started. After that, European Economic Community and European Community, later the Treaty of Lisbon, Treaty of Rome, all these took place. Finally, it brought back to the original name, that is European Union only. PYQ is there. Now here, which is NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement. North American Free Trade Agreement, that is NAFTA. To eliminate all tariff and non-tariff barrier of the trade investment between the United States, Mexico, and Canada. So this NAFTA, now it is replaced by what? USMCA agreement. Now USMCA is there. United States, Mexico, Canada trio agreement is there. So here US, Mexico, and Canada. Now NAFTA replaced by USMCA. 1994 it got originally NAFTA, but USMCA January 2020 it is. January 2020, right? Next is that observer country shortcut is not there. By if you want to create any, you can create it. And BRICS. What is BRICS countries? To promote the peace, security, and development and cooperation, BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Headquarters Shanghai, China, which is in 2006, this got initiated. Right? Next. Last and final part. IMF, World Bank, and WTO. So here International Monetary Fund, 27th December 1945 established, Washington DC, but the started there. Washington DC is a headquarter. These IMF and World Bank are the twins. These two are the twins. Bretton Woods Conference twins. Bretton Woods Conference twins. So here 27 December 1945, Washington DC, and here July 1944, but started operation 1st March 1947, started operation June 1946, and also known as Bretton Woods twins. This is also known as Bretton Woods twins. Member countries are 190 as of now, here 189 as of now. So initially the organization is, at that time 1944, we call it as an IBRD, and aDDa combinedly was there. Now IBRD 189 countries, 173 International Development Association, that is aDDa, whereas IBRD full form is that International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, that is 189. Here recently Andorra is a country which is joined in 2020. I think 191 country also there, na? Which is 191st country. Is there any 191st country which is joined recently? Let's check the list also, latest one. IMF latest member. Bas bhai, that's it. Andorra only. Andorra only. With that only it became 189 plus 1, which is 190. Right? And here main motto is that working for the world free poverty. World free poverty working for. And here major functions are lending facility, IMF surveillance and capacity development. Lending facility, IMF surveillance and capacity development. Three are the major function, most important by this is. Three are the major functions which is IMF lending facility, mainly giving loans to the least developed countries or the poor countries to uplift their liquidity. And a special drawing rights will be there. Special drawing right is a basket of 190 currencies. In that basket of 190 currencies, top 5 currencies will be picked up. The top 5 currency basket is called as a special drawing right, which is initiated in the 1969. And highest is that US dollar, after that euro, after that Chinese yuan and Japanese yen and pound sterling is in sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, top 5 currencies. And here a World Bank group consists of International Bank for Reconstruction and Development and International Financial Corporation. After that, International Development Association and International Council for Settlement of Investment Dispute ICSID and Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. These are the 5 group of association in the World Bank. And next major objective is to end the extreme poverty and to promote the shared prosperity. To end the extreme poverty, right? In 2015 this Chinese yen got added. 2015, which is a recently added, is 2015 Chinese yen. And WTO, World Trade Organization, is establishment is 1995, because this 1945 or 1944 one organization got established, that is GATT, General Agreement of Tariff and Trade. So that was till the 1995 1st January it was existed, 1st April 1994 it is existed. Due to the discussion started in Uruguay round of the 8th round of Uruguay round 1986 to 1994, the argument to continuous negotiations took place. In the 1994 final round, which is the Doha Amendment, made this conversion of GATT into WTO. GATT into to replace the GATT, WTO, World Trade Organization came into picture. Headquartered at Geneva, Switzerland, 164 member countries. Afghanistan is the most recent which is joined in the WTO, that is 2016. Major functions are trade agreements, monitoring and implementation of these agreements, dispute between the countries in part with the trade, and building a trade capacity and outreach. These are the 5 basic main functions of the WTO. And WTO agreement includes agreement on agriculture and general agreement on trades and services, and trade related intellectual property rights, trade related investment measures, technical barriers to trade, sanitary and phytosanitary measures. These are the agreements under the WTO. Six agreements are there and 5 major functions are there. Clear? That's about today's session. Bye. So this is a summary of total 3 organization, important organization. So all the important aspects only I discussed. I hope you enjoyed the session. If you enjoyed the session, kindly hit a like button and do not forget to share with your friends. Please do hit a like button, share and comment on the video. And you can catch me live in the tomorrow 11 AM. The link will be shared in the Telegram group. The link, you can see the Telegram is visible now. The just search that name in the Telegram and join over there. You will get all the updates about my free live sessions, time to time, and plus sessions also available. Today is the last day for the Unacademy, 20% off. Use the invite code Shiva Live, SHIVA LIVE. Thank you so much. Have a great night. And tomorrow 11 a.m. People Development Environment part number 2. Morning 11 a.m. if I am not wrong. 11 a.m. I'm going to take it up.